Hey, Kelley, Steve Goff from the Washington Post. Thanks for your time. It's been a while since this team's been together for a match. Uh, what is the importance of this game given all the circumstances and the fact you're on the road against a team that also went to the World Cup final 2 years ago, last year?
I think that there's a lot of importance with this game. One, with all the extenuating circumstances that is COVID and trying to get a match done in a COVID world. Knock on wood, we've been good so far. Things are looking good for Friday, and to be able to actually, for one, U.S. Soccer to have developed a plan, put it in place, and implemented it in a way that's kept us all safe and hopefully will get us to that game to be able to play, I think is huge, and I think it's going to be important moving forward because who knows how long we'll have to be implementing these types of policies and procedures. But then also you have the importance of we're meeting for the first time against the team that we played in the World Cup final, and it's been a year and a couple months since then, and it's been 7 months, 8 months since we played our last game as a team. So yeah, I'm a little. It's gonna be. I'm excited for it. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Great, thanks, Kelley.
Yeah.
Thanks, Steve. Moving on, Meg Linehan, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, Kelley. Meg Linehan from The Athletic. Obviously, I know Aaron already mentioned this, and I might be stealing Fowdy's question if she raises her hand, but what is it like to have such a heavy Stanford presence at this camp, especially, you got Sophia Smith running around NWSL now, but also Katerina Macario, who I think has already earned quite a number of headlines on her own.
I love it. I obviously bleed Cardinal and am the biggest Stanford fan, and I love seeing this younger generation come in and a lot of them be, the Stanford kids. I think it's a testament to what Paul Ratcliffe has built there, and also just that program and what they have become, what the Stanford program has become. And it not only produces really great teams, it produces really great individual players. So I actually think I was at either lunch or dinner the other day, and I think I either asked Jane or Kat, I was like, how many Stanford players are here at this point? And I think it's either 6 or 7, which is pretty crazy. So we're taking over, and I am not. I don't mind being proud of that.
Is there something in particular that you think Stanford has as a program that lends itself so well to being kind of a funnel for talent for the national team?
I think that's an interesting question. I don't know if I've really given it much thought in terms of that. Why are we seeing so many players now making it into the national team? I think that used to be, as much as I hate to admit it, it's just the truth, UNC. And now it's kind of Stanford's kind of taking on that role in having a lot of players, young players, coming either during college or right out of college, right into this program, and getting their footing pretty quickly and making an impact. So I don't know. I do think a lot of it has to probably do with Paul. I think that he's built a culture there. I think that the way he coaches, the way that he takes talent and grooms it for the next stage is something that maybe other coaches aren't doing as well. I think there's probably a lot of aspects to it. It might be like a Stanford type A personality, win at all costs type of situation. So I think there's probably a handful of reasons that we're starting to see a lot of Cardinal up in here.
All right, thanks, Kelley.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kel. Moving on to Jonathan Tannenwald. Oh, sorry. Hold on, JT. Go ahead.
I don't think I see him.
Thanks,
Oh, okay.
Aaron. Hi, Kelley. Steve mentioned that it's been a while since the U.S. played. It's been a while since you played in an official game, club or country or anything else. I wonder how you're doing mentally, fitness-wise, and whether you think you're ready to go out there on Friday having not played a real game for a while.
I'm ready. It has been a bit, but I feel really good. I actually feel like I made the most of my situation this fall and kind of throughout COVID and quarantine and all that stuff. So as much as I think people have been in individual situations of how they've prepared for this match, I personally feel very good. I feel ready. I'm excited. I'm kind of chomping at the bit to get out there. It might feel a little weird at first just because it's been so long. But I think that me personally, I feel great. I think that everyone else has, again, controlled what they can control. And we look pretty good right now in practice. So I feel confident.
Thanks, JT. Moving on to Asif. Go ahead, Asif. Oh, hold on.
Oh, this is so funny. I can see the hands raised. This is funny.
Okay, nice to speak to you.
Hello.
Could I just get your thoughts on Alyssa Nair being the only US player nominated for FIFA's The Best Awards today? Do you think it's a sign of the times that she's the only player from the NWSL, or are the best women's players now playing in Europe?
Ooh. If I'm being honest, I didn't know about that. I'm sometimes out of the loop on things of that nature. But that's awesome, and Alyssa deserves it. And I was surprised she wasn't FIFA Best 11 last year. She, in my mind, was the best keeper in the world, the World Cup and leading into it. So, I don't know, I think I'd probably have to look at who else was named. I think it's also maybe circumstantial in that there haven't been a lot of games, so it's hard to base, or pick somebody and people and players who aren't necessarily getting week in and week out competition, which has been the case for NWSL players. But hell yeah for Alyssa.
And could I also just ask, it's probably the first time in your international career that you've been away with the national team during Thanksgiving. So how difficult will it be being away from your loved ones, and what have the team got planned for tomorrow?
I do think this is the first time with the full team I've been away from the U.S. and friends and family. But I definitely, in my youth career, was gone a lot. I don't think I was ever really home for Thanksgiving. So it's a little weird. I actually kind of forgot that tomorrow was Thanksgiving, which is kind of sad, but that's okay. It's, it's about, we'll make the best of it. We're at a really amazing place right now, and there's space to walk around, and it's woodsy and stuff, and there's some trails, and there's I don't know if I should say this, I've cut me off, but there's like a pen that has turkeys in it, and we feel like they might be dinner tomorrow night, and I'm concerned about like walking by them the pen Friday morning and being like, all the turkeys are gone. But so that might be how we're celebrating. We haven't heard anything on the plans.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome, Friday.
Have you guys seen the turkey?
Kelley being pro-turkey is not something we'd ever cut her off. All right. Speaking of Stanford, let's go to Julie Foudy now. Julie.
Jules, you're not gonna get on camera? Oh, there she is. You did it.
Okay, sorry about that. It takes a while to unmute. Hi, Kel.
Hi,
Go
Jules.
Card.
Go Card.
Thank you, Meg, for asking that question. With all the different training environments that the team is in, and with the continued challenges of COVID, and especially in our country, where would you assess, and I know you haven't had much time with the team, but where would you assess where the team is now versus where they need to be for the Olympics? And just talk about those challenges going forward with, obviously, our country escalating rather than de-escalating in numbers.
Yeah, interesting question. I think it's something that we probably are all thinking about right now. It's on our mind because as it stands, Olympics are happening in 9 months, 10 months, 8 months. So that's a short amount of time to get ready. And like I said, I feel like we do look pretty good at practice. I've been pleased with where we're at, like looking as a team. But to get from here to Olympic ready, there's just so much more we have to do. And it comes down to like almost not even thinking, being able to do things, just muscle memory, that sort of stuff. So I think it's just going to be, and hopefully we get this even with how the world is looking, the US is looking, time together, time to gel, and just to continue to build on where we're at right now. Because regardless of where we're at right now, we always want to be going up. And I know we will have to go up. And I think my biggest concern will be everyone getting enough experience, exposure, repetition leading into the Olympics with however things are structured in the US next year with NWSL, and that, players hopefully who are playing in Europe or wherever they're playing, they're getting enough. We're getting enough repetition. We're able to be in team training environments, and we're also able to be together as a US team. So I'm hopeful. I know it's necessary. And, but regardless, as a team, we always just figure it out. So that's what keeps me hopeful.
For you personally, I mean, having been pretty banged up after that World Cup, and I know the turn has always been so tough for all players, regardless of health, just to go from winning a World Cup to turning it around and playing an Olympics the very next summer, which is why no one has been able to go back to back like that. But do you also feel the silver lining is it gave you guys a little bit of time to get healthier and to get your body back?
I think that maybe not so much. It's not so much, I really don't think it's like a physical thing that is the deterrent in being able to win a World Cup and then Olympics back to back. I really think it's more a mental and emotional kind of being able to get up again and lock in and be able to do all the things that you need to do to win a major tournament. So I do think this time period, for me personally, and I think maybe hopefully for a lot of people, they've been able to work on things that they need to work on, fix, certain issues physically, but then hopefully mentally and emotionally, we're all at a place that we're like ready to just go sky high again. And hopefully COVID hasn't been too much of a, overload in terms of the mental and emotional things.
Cool, thanks, Cal.
Thanks, Jules. Only got time for a couple more with Cal. We're going to go to Daniel from Univision. Go ahead. Daniel.
Hi, thank you, Aaron.
Yep.
Hi, Kelley, how are you?
Good, how are you?
So, good, thank you. Considering all these times since you haven't played with the national team, what do you think is the biggest challenge in this reunite, and what do you expect from the team in terms of playing time and on the field performance?
I think the biggest hurdle we will have with this is that a 90-minute international game is like a pretty intense load, and as a lot of people have mentioned, people are in different places, training environments. Some people have played a 90-minute game, a week ago. Some people haven't played in a couple months. So I think the biggest thing will just be getting through 90 minutes of an international competition, regardless of if it's a friendly or not. And so really that's it. But I think that we all knew this game was hopefully going to happen and have been preparing accordingly, regardless of the environment that we're coming from.
Awesome. Thanks, Cal. Last two. Let's go with Alex Ozzie and then Melina Gaspar. Go ahead, Alex.
Hey, Kelley. I'm Alex with On Her Turf and NBC Sports. I'm sure I'm not the only one here who has been enjoying listening to your podcast these last couple of months.
Thanks.
And I'm curious, I think a lot of times, athletes kind of find the other side of the microphone after they've retired. But for you, kind of being in both these roles of current athlete and also interviewer, I'm wondering if you've learned anything about yourself or your own athletic career and talking to other athletes.
It is interesting. I think the reason that I wanted to do this was because it is a different perspective and vibe in what the final product is when it is like athlete to athlete, peer to peer. I think I've learned that when I ask questions, I ask like, do you feel this way or do you feel that way? As opposed to just asking the question and letting them finish, which has been funny because I've never really had to interview anybody regularly. So, and then I think the biggest thing is just how relatable athletic experiences are, how people's journeys really do. There is so much that happens, even if I'm a soccer player and, I'm talking to a skier. Like, there's so much that goes into a professional athletic career, and there's so many similarities across sports, genres, whatever you want to call it. And it's cool to be able to connect about those things and to talk about those things.
Thanks, Kel.
Yep.
Last one for Kelley goes to Melina. Go ahead, Melina.
Hi, Kelley.
Hi.
Good morning. I'm Melina. I'm with Football Ace. So, speaking about the fact that in this camp you have players coming from 4 different leagues, while in the past 23 of you play in the NWSL, do you think this is a natural, healthy development for football in the US and feel this is right? Or do you think this is just a consequence of 2020 and once 2020 is over, things will go back to the way they were?
I don't think I look at it as like, oh, is this right or wrong? It's just kind of what is. And I think that certain players made decisions because they felt like that was the best for them. And I think that is what is the most important thing, like as an individual. And for any of my teammates, like I want them to be in an environment they feel like will best prepare them. And some of them, that's going and playing overseas. Some of them it's NWSL. Some of them it wasn't playing the fall series. There was a lot of different variables and options that people chose. So I don't know. I don't know if it will go back to what it was before. I don't necessarily know if, like I said, it's right or wrong, or if it matters. So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Kel. Really appreciate your time.
Yeah, guys.